So if you're looking for a really cool gift for maybe that outdoor enthusiast in your life, then check out Cool Toys US. They're an Etsy store that makes high-quality Viking and bushcraft axes. They have over 2,000 sales. Their average review is 4.8 out of 5. Doesn't get much better than that. And most importantly, they make high-quality axes. I'm telling you, you've never seen axes like this in your life. They have a store-wide 30% off sale going on right now. Again, you can find them at Cool Toys US over on Etsy, and the link to their shop is right in the description notes of this show, so you don't have to worry about typing it in. It's right there. So go get that really awesome axe for a friend, a birthday, whatever it may be, or just yourself. If you are an outdoor enthusiast, you enjoy hiking, this may be the gift for you. Check out Cool Toys US on Etsy.
This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is the one that everybody wants, me. Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore! Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Guys and girls, welcome back to another edition of the SmackDown Review right here on the WWE Podcast. As always, I'm one of the hosts of the show, Michael Ritter. You can find me on Twitter at Michael5Ritter, and also one of the hosts of the Football Function Podcast, available on the Patreon app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm rolling solo here tonight, and I don't mean solo Sikoa. I mean my typical co-host, John Carrasco. He has some things come up, some duties that he has to attend to, so he is going to be MIA tonight. No worries. I'm going to go ahead and run through this bad boy, or at least try to. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be a little bit different doing the live review format without John. I don't think I've done it by myself yet like this. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but if I were to guess, I would assume that this was my only time that I've done this. So, I mean, looking forward to seeing how it goes. Right now, SmackDown currently is opening with a tag team match. LWO, Rey Mysterio, and Santos Escobar versus Judgment Day. Finn Balor, God, his name was blanking me there, and Damian Priest. This SmackDown airing on April 21st, 2023 from Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio. And yeah, I mean, this is the last SmackDown, I believe, with these current iterations of the brand split, or with the current rosters as we see them right now. So that's one thing that I kind of thought about as I was, getting ready to watch SmackDown, and I saw SmackDown's opening video package play. Sometimes they switch. I mean, you could expect them to switch that up here pretty soon. I mean, next week I know that the rosters are going to be somewhat similar because nothing's happening until a week from tonight, whenever the draft actually is here. So we will technically get one more SmackDown with these rosters, but I mean, it's the night of the draft. This is the last actual SmackDown with these rosters that we've had for a while. So shout out to the guys that are going to be leaving. I don't know who you are yet. I mean, obviously we'll get to that point a little bit later, but I am looking forward to the draft. Although it's the same night of the NFL draft, rounds 2 and 3 on night 2 of the draft. So that's going to be a little bit of a pickle. I don't know how I'm going to do that. There is a little bit of a dilemma there, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure that we will be able to make it work. We always do, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. But when we're talking about this draft just really quickly, I mean, this match is going on. Finn Balor and Rey Mysterio doing their typical thing. You already know these guys can put on a 5-star match. So as I'm watching this out of the corner of my eye, I did want to talk to you guys about the prospects of this brand split that we're going to get. Because you guys already know how I feel. I want the brand split to be as quote-unquote hard as it can be. Now, there is a difference. There's a hard brand split and there's a soft brand split. And I feel like we've seen both. We've seen WWE do both since they brought the brand split back in what I believe was maybe 2016, 17. I'm not really sure. That's on me for not knowing off the top of my head. But back in the Ruthless Aggression era, like the Attitude era, it was no secret. The brand split was as hard as could possibly be. The structure actually, you felt like the wrestlers didn't know each other. Whenever you saw a Raw superstar go up against a SmackDown superstar, whether it was at the Royal Rumble or like Survivor Series, you see them cross paths. you would legitimately feel like these wrestlers didn't know each other. And I want that aspect to come back. I want the brand split to be as hard as it can be. And this is the first version of it that we're getting with Triple H. I'm sure he understands the value that a brand split brings. Let's get the red and blue ropes back. How about that? Now that we're actually getting a brand split, let's really go all in here and let's get the colored ropes back. You guys already know that's another thing that really grinds my gears. If we could get that. Ooh. Damian Priest saved Finn Balor there, pulled him out of the way as Rey Mysterio was doing a baseball slide underneath the bottom rope. Now we got Santos Escobar feeling a little frisky here. He runs off the rope. Looks like he gets clotheslined. Finn Balor meets him in the middle of the ring. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I feel like Triple H understands how valuable a brand split is, and how valuable it can be to his roster, and especially with how deep it is. You can push so many new wrestlers. You can make so many championships feel worthy again. Like Gunther's doing a dang good job with the Intercontinental Championship, but the United States Championship, it's had a lot of ups and downs. There were times where it wasn't being defended regularly, where it was pretty much just being babysat by whoever. I mean, and there's been times where it was just hot potato between a few guys. The Intercontinental Championship does have a little bit more prestige to it, and I do believe that we could continue to see that title be very relevant. And after this brand split, we could see the United States Championship take a pretty hard turn as well, just because it could mean more if it was on an exclusive brand. I mean, it is on an exclusive brand, but if the brand split itself was as hard as can be, and then, we'll just let everything play out from there. But, I mean, we've seen the soft brand split, and we've seen the no brand split. It's been a pretty long time since we've seen the hard brand split, and why not just go back to it, see what you got there, and, I'd be all for that, as you guys already know. We're currently on a commercial break right now. It's, local commercials from where I live. But I will say, I am looking forward to Backlash now that I've watched more episodes of Raw. It's starting to play out. It's clearly just, it's just Backlash. But now, it's official. We got the Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar matchup. So that one is going to be, for sure, a must-watch. In terms of storyline development, like, I know a title's not on the line there, but this is going to give us a good idea about how they feel about Cody Rhodes post-WrestleMania after losing to Roman Reigns. It's going to really give us a good idea how WWE feels about him. And, I mean, if they have him slay the beast, which, if I were a betting man, I would definitely bet that they do. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win that match. That tells me that he is, head on, still bound and determined to get another shot at Roman. I hope it's not at SummerSlam. I hope it's not, anytime soon. I'd rather it be hey, let's do this bad boy, John Cena and The Rock style, meet at Mania 2 years in a row. But, I mean, I don't know about that. It sounds appealing when you look at the finishing product, when you look at him possibly being able to reach that mountaintop and win it at WrestleMania XL next year. But at the same time, you have to think about all the time that's going to go into that. You have to not only keep Roman Reigns extremely hot as a heel champion, but you also have to continue pushing Cody Rhodes, but keeping him right underneath that championship level, Like almost like that Drew McIntyre level where this dude's a top guy. He could be a champion any day of the week. But they don't always have him go up against the champions. He's sometimes in those upper mid-card feuds where he's just right there underneath the champion, and he could just burst through at any minute and it would be believable. You got to keep Cody Rhodes in that area, in that ballpark where you're also trying to build up Roman Reigns and somehow have more worthy challengers step to him. Which I said, I'm past the good program part with Roman Reigns. I want believability. I want to see people have a legitimate shot to beat him. And that's why I knew him winning at WrestleMania was going to create dilemmas down the road, because I know he can't just lose it at some random, rinky-dink pay-per-view. He has to lose it at WrestleMania. Maybe SummerSlam. I could see him losing it at SummerSlam. DJ Kuzma brought that up. It's where it all began. That is a very logical destination. But I do feel like, if they're going to push it all the way to SummerSlam, they might as well roll through it. If, the storyline is allowing it and he is continuing to, grow in this character, which he's showing no signs of slowing down. And, you really love to see that from Roman Reigns. But this match continues on. Tag team LWO versus Judgment Day. I'm going to let it finish. I'll tell you guys who won and how. All right, I'm back. We get a South of Heaven choke slam from Damian Priest as he sneakily tags his way into the match. Rey Mysterio gets taken out on the outside, and obviously Santos Escobar falls victim to that finishing move. And then we get a promo after the match from Damian Priest, just, talking crap to Bad Bunny, who's going to be on Monday Night Raw this coming Monday in Chicago. So some big star power there in attendance. But he's just taking shots, saying, I hope you enjoy your little visit. He's pretty much going to put him out of his misery, for lack of a better word. And that's not exactly what he said. I'm paraphrasing, but you get it. Bad Bunny is going to likely have a target on his back with a purple, I don't know, I was going to say an analogy there, and it was just going to be absolutely terrible. So I'll just go ahead and put that one back in the chamber, just roll it back a little bit, and I will just go ahead and say that, yeah, Bad Bunny's likely going to have Judgment Day all over him at some point here, and it's not going to end well for him, but we will see. Having said all that, we're on a commercial break right now. I'll go ahead and let the next segment, because I don't know what it was. As SmackDown went to commercial break, they were just showing Solo Sikoa and reminding us what he did to Riddle at the end of SmackDown last week. So they're basically just getting us prepared for the main event tonight, the no DQ match that we're going to see. But I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen next in the show. So I'll let this next segment happen, and I'll be right back. Okay, we definitely got a couple things to talk about here. Number one, Zelina Vega goes into Adam Pearce's office and essentially challenges Rhea Ripley for a SmackDown Women's Championship match at Backlash. She does not stumble on a word. A very great promo, I will say. She did a damn good job. She sold me. Like, she won me over on why she deserves it and why it would be a great match. So I'm all for it. Sign me up. I give it the stamp of approval for sure. He says he's going to talk to upper management. He's going to talk to Rhea Ripley, see if they can't make that match official. And then we get a reminder that Shinsuke Nakamura made his return. We get a nice video package. I thought that was pretty dope. And then right after that, Karrion Kross comes up and he cuts a promo, but it's not your typical promo. I actually really, really liked this. He had some music going in the background, but not only that, there was like some smoke going with like a red style of light. It was definitely set up to look a certain way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But nonetheless, Scarlett comes up. She has a pretty good handful of cards, and he's pretty much saying that he never hurt anybody a day in his life, because every single one of those cards had somebody's face on it. If you remember, he's been doing that for a while now, where the next person he's targeting, he has them on a card. The way that they featured that in this promo really kind of reminded me about all of those, and it kind of connected that they've been doing some long-term storytelling here with Karrion Kross, and he, every single person that's on the card, he references something that he took away from them. Like, he took away Drew McIntyre's something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said that he took away Riddick Moss's, like, fun, his joy, his whatever, like, pretty much they changed him, and now he looks completely different. Rey Mysterio, they took away his patience, and they showed him eventually boiling over and hitting his son, spanking him with his belt at WrestleMania, and he said that they're going to take away Shinsuke Nakamura's honor. So, whatever that means, it does seem like now they are going somewhere with Karrion Kross, and obviously Shinsuke Nakamura coming back. So this is a nice little feud that I like to see here. Hopefully they stay on the same brand, preferably here on SmackDown, and we get to see this unfold a little bit, because I do like the groundwork that they just set for it. I think it's pretty cool. So right now in the show, it's on a commercial break, but we did see Ricochet and Braun Strowman make their entrance. We got a little replay, I guess, of the Viking Raiders attacking Ricochet and Braun Strowman last week. So nonetheless, we get a tag team match tonight between the two teams. We'll see who comes out on top. I'll watch this match and I'll let you know how it went. Okay, a lot has happened since I pressed the stop button here recording. We'll go ahead and start with what happened first, which was the Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Viking Raiders match. Now, one thing I will say, there was a botch in this match. Braun Strowman tried to throw Ricochet into one of the Viking Raiders. Completely missed. I mean, it was terrible. If you watch this match, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Braun Strowman was actually not on his A game in this one, if I could say so myself. Just from a couple other spots in the match, you could just tell that it didn't quite go according to plan, but it is what it is. Sometimes, you just have those nights, so I'm not going to hold it against him too much, but I will say Ricochet has been carrying this team, and it's really a testament to how good he is, because typically whenever a team like Ricochet and Braun Strowman pair up, it's Strowman or it's the Strowman type that typically is the one who's carrying the team, the one that has the real star power that's eventually going to break off from the group and, get that main event push. I'm not saying Ricochet is going to get a main event push, but man, I'd be crazy if I didn't tell you that he's been impressing me here lately just with everything he's been able to do. And, he's been top of the line whenever you're talking about in ring for a long time. It's always just been that character development. He looks as good as he ever has in terms of his physique. So why not allow him to start adding some depth to his character? It just seems like the right time. It seems like a good time. It makes sense. And I don't know, just something about seeing a more serious Ricochet, just doing something different than his typical high-flying stuff, that would make me happy as a wrestling fan. I would love to see them tap into a little bit more, and maybe he's not capable of it. Maybe they've tried, and up to this point, that's why we haven't seen it. But it's just one of those things, like I've never really heard them come out and say, we believe Ricochet can, be a main event guy. And, maybe he doesn't have that in his bag. Maybe that's just not in his cards, and he's more of a mid-card guy, which is perfectly fine. I do believe he's an asset to the company, and it would be cool to see Ricochet get a little bit more of a spotlight sometime. But nonetheless, they do win this match despite constant interference from Valhalla. So the babyface team remains strong. And we do get the same type of finish when we're talking about the babyface winning. With the very next match, the women's tag team champions, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, go up against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Just that nagging team that just constantly has been bugging Adam Pearce, just begging him for an opportunity, despite not really deserving one. But when you look at it, which women's tag team actually deserves an opportunity? Spoiler alert, there's not a women's tag team division, so none of them deserve an opportunity. So yeah, they have to bring one out of thin air. We saw the little segment on Monday Night Raw where Chelsea Green dumped water on Liv Morgan's face. Liv had a little bit of fun with it on social media, as you would expect her to. But I do believe that this was just obviously they're not going to drop the titles on SmackDown right before the draft. I didn't expect that. But this match absolutely had no juice to it for me. Like, we're actually watching this match. Obviously, Liv and Raquel are doing their thing. They end up winning this match. And Liv Morgan gets a little bit of retribution by pouring water on Chelsea Green's face. And then pinning her with a little bit of like a small package type thing. Raquel Rodriguez does assist her with the pinfall, just, putting her foot on her rear end. While she was right in that puddle, did you guys notice that? That puddle that was in the ring from the water spill? Raquel literally just jumped right in it to help Liv win. That's how you know she's all in for the team. She's not worried about getting herself wet or anything like that, as long as it means her team is getting the win. But we're going to move on here. We already saw Xavier Woods make his entrance. He's going to go one-on-one up against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think it's going to end well for him. We talked about it last week. There's no way in hell he's going to win this. The only thing I was looking for is, how does Xavier Woods look in this match? Like, how does he stack up against Gunther? Because typically, if we did this match 6 months ago, Xavier Woods would be getting his head kicked off. Like, it wouldn't even be close. So the fact that I feel like there's a chance that he could, get a nice little push in this match and actually look like a viable threat going forward for this mid-card picture, and actually somebody who is worthy of being drafted next week. So we'll see how he does here against the leader of Imperium. I'm going to let Samantha Irvin do her thing, introducing Gunther. But I'll let you know who wins this match, and it's pretty obvious who's going to win it. But I'll be shocked if something else happens. But either way, though, we'll get our answer on how Xavier Woods fared, and we'll talk about it immediately after.
So if you're looking for a really cool gift for maybe that outdoor enthusiast in your life, then check out Cool Toys US. They're an Etsy store that makes high-quality Viking and bushcraft axes. They have over 2,000 sales. Their average review is 4.8 out of 5. Doesn't get much better than that. And most importantly, they make high-quality axes. I'm telling you, you've never seen axes like this in your life. They have a store-wide 30% off sale going on right now. Again, you can find them at Cool Toys US over on Etsy. And the link to their shop is right in the description notes of this show, so you don't have to worry about typing it in. It's right there. So go get that really awesome axe for a friend, a birthday, whatever it may be, or just yourself. If you are an outdoor enthusiast, you enjoy hiking, this may be the gift for you. Check out Cool Toys US on Etsy.
All right, that match ends as we expected. Gunther retains. Pretty much just put Xavier Woods to sleep. Not literally, but I mean it was pretty much just a, choked him out type thing. I gotta say, Xavier Woods, he took a beating in this match, like you would expect. We knew he wasn't going to win, obviously, but I was curious, if he was going to be able to be up to the challenge. And there were some spots in the match that I was like, okay, there we go. He's really got the offense going. But nonetheless, he just really couldn't handle, those vicious clotheslines time and time again through the duration of the match, and just ended up being too much. But the fact that he put up a fight, and if you look at Gunther in this match, he looked extremely exhausted. He looked like he was being pushed, tested, and Xavier Woods was definitely putting some good offense against him, is one way to phrase it. But he falls short, which is okay. We'll see kind of how he goes and where he goes from here. But I do like the prospects of Xavier Woods maybe getting a little bit of a singles run whenever his partners are injured. He's got to make the most out of this. Coming out in the New Day's music, I feel like it's a little bit detrimental to him, and I don't want to say or assume that it's all negative. But when you think about what he could be if he were to just venture off a little bit, you just wonder, because he's a charismatic guy. There's no secret there. Like they've just always kind of limited him. He's always been inside of this box where they've never let him expand a little bit and just take a little bit of different steps in a different direction. But I feel like in like the Ruthless Aggression TV14 era, Xavier Woods could have been pretty damn entertaining, and I think he probably still can if WWE would let him. So I guess we'll just wait and we'll see how his quote-unquote push happens, if he does end up getting one of them at all. But nonetheless, he falls short against Gunther, and I guess we'll kind of see how Gunther's Intercontinental Championship is handled during the draft, because that's a big question for me. I've heard rumors that he is about to be going to Monday Night Raw, which I do not want. You guys know I'm extremely high on Gunther. I don't want to lose him on the SmackDown roster, but I understand what they could do by switching the mid-card belt. So if that is the case, whatever, we'll take theory, I guess, but I would much rather have Gunther. So just go ahead and get that out of the way right now. But as we continue on here, I believe all we have left is this main event. They're going to show a video package, I think, coming up next about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and maybe just their championship journey. I don't really know exactly what it was, to be completely honest. I was getting the recording prepared as they went to commercial break, and they kind of alluded to it, that they were going to do this. So we'll kind of see what happens in this next segment. Once it's over, I'll come back and fill you guys in. Okay, I was way off. I don't know how in the hell I missed that, but it was the Usos actually who came out. So yeah, that was on me for sure. The Usos come out, and it was actually pretty funny, just, the tone that Jimmy Uso had. He was asking Jay, dude, what are you going to do since you lost the championships? Like, referring to people asking them constantly since WrestleMania has happened, what's next for them, pretty much. And they just listed off. They're going to win the championships next week when they have their big WrestleMania main event rematch for the tag team championships. They do believe they're going to win them, bring those titles back to the Bloodline, and, business as usual for the Bloodline. But they were also out here to introduce Solo Sikoa, who we already know has a one-on-one, no disqualification match against Matt Riddle. And according to the Usos, Riddle's about to get bodied. So I guess we'll see if he's right. I'm going to watch this match, and when we get back, we will close out the show. Sorry, pause. Before I go away and then come back to break down the main event, I actually forgot they announced some matches for Backlash during one of the little commercial breaks, or I guess before they got back from a commercial break. Pretty, I guess, chalky for the most part, but one of them that stuck out to me was Omos versus Seth Rollins. What? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Did I miss something on Monday Night Raw? Because I didn't completely finish it, so maybe in that final hour I might have missed something, but I don't know. I just don't really see the reason behind putting Seth with Omos. Maybe it's just to give him some work, but at the same time, there were some rumors, right, of him being unhappy or something like that. I don't really know. I don't want to speculate on anything, but I just thought that was pretty strange. I guess he's going to mop the floor with Omos, or is Omos going to win? I really have no idea, to be completely honest. Just doesn't really make sense. He was just with Logan Paul. Now he's going with Omos. Like, are we going to give this guy a meaningful program at any point? Like, it's baffling at this point. Like, we really need to see Seth Rollins treated a little bit better. No wonder he's pissed off. If this is what he already knew they had next up for him, like, come on. But either way, I had to get that off my chest really quickly. Whenever I get back, I will break down this main event, no disqualification match between Solo Sikoa and Matt Riddle. Sorry, they just brought up the graphics, the main event rematch next week for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships between Solo and, or not Solo, the Usos and Kevin and Sammy. Now they're talking about the draft, and they are featuring every single superstar on the roster. We're talking Roman Reigns, Gunther, Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar, Edge, Drew McIntyre, and many, many more are going to be eligible for this draft. This is what it's all about. Damn you, WWE, for scheduling it the same night as the NFL draft, because I love both of these things, man. Like, I love WWE drafts. They hardly do it once in a blue moon. And obviously, the NFL draft, I look forward to it every year, and I literally have to cover it for my other podcast. So now I'm really tied. Like, it's Matt Riddle hits Solo Sikoa from behind as Solo was waiting for him to make his entrance down the ramp. Matt Riddle comes up from behind, and he's starting this bad boy off right. I mean, shoot. I almost said a curse word there. He took 4 months of Matt Riddle's career, tried to put him on the shelf again last week. Don't necessarily blame Matt Riddle for coming out, guns blazing, not necessarily wasting any time, and hell, even cheap shotting from behind. You're in a disadvantage here with somebody like Solo, so you got to take every opportunity you can to get an edge. But either way, I'm in a little bit of a predicament here in a couple weeks, or 1 week exactly to be exact, because I got to cover SmackDown for this show, obviously, with John. John's going to be a big help, but I also have to cover the draft for wrestling, or for the football function. See, I'm just all sorts of twisted up right now, but nonetheless, I do have some co-hosts over there too, so I'm not by myself in any of them, but I'm only one person. I want to watch all of it, so I'm in a little bit of a tricky situation there. And also just a little bit of a live update. I just found out that the Celtics lost to the Hawks in game 3. So yeah, not necessarily great news there, but nonetheless, back to the wrestling action. These two guys are going at it right now. They're in the corner of the turnbuckle, a little bit tied up. Matt Riddle has him in a little bit of a leg lock or some type of triangle lock when you look at his legs wrapped around his upper body. Solo looks like he's going to reverse it. Samoan Savage does a little bit of a powerbomb, puts him in the turf, or in the mat, I should say. I need to get my mind out of the football lingo. But nonetheless, Riddle kicks out at 2. I'm going to let these two stallions duke it out, probably bring weapons into the equation. Actually, that's what Solo Sikoa is doing right now. He's lifting up the apron. Going to get a kendo stick. That's exactly what he's going to grab. 2 of them, actually. Okay. I was going to let these guys duke it out and come back and break down the match, but it's just, there's so much action going on. What's the point even stopping? I could just break this bad boy down, because he's already brought in 4 kendo sticks, now 2 chairs into the ring. Obviously, he's taking full advantage of this no disqualification stipulation in this match. Matt Riddle crawling over to the weapons. Solo Sikoa says, not so fast. You can go and stay in that position. Oh, and he is just getting whacked. He got a good shot to the back with that kendo stick. Does not feel good. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot fake that. So let's see what Solo continues to do here. Is he going to get another whack? And he does, this time on his left arm. Damn near worse than on the back, because just the skin a little bit more sensitive. Now he's getting up. Oh, he's putting himself in prime position. Solo going to swing, batters away. It's reverse. Matt Riddle hits him with a Pele kick, if I'm not mistaken. Now the match is starting to kind of speed up a little bit. Matt Riddle trying to take advantage. He tries to clothesline him out of the ring, but Solo Sikoa throws him through the ropes. And now let's see. I don't really know what Solo's got up his sleeve now. He hasn't gotten a shot from any of these weapons yet. It's only been Riddle who's taken a kendo stick shot to the back, and obviously the one of the... Oh, and as I'm saying that, Matt Riddle comes and whacks him out of nowhere with that kendo stick, and there's another one for good measure. How about one for the road? Another one just because I feel like it, and he just is not holding back. Bombs away swinging. This is what I like to see here. No disqualification match. You got to utilize all these weapons. And Matt Riddle going underneath the apron again here. Oh, he's bringing out a table. Oh, my gosh. I have my TV muted, but I can see the crowd just absolutely going crazy, and Solo Sikoa stops him. And he puts the table back. What a heel. What a jerk. And he looks at the crowd. Solo Sikoa is such a freaking jerk, man. I have to admit. Entertaining match here, though. I'm glad they put it at the main event. This one definitely is living up to the hype. and is without a doubt blowing away all the other matches that we've seen tonight. 3 tag matches and obviously the Intercontinental Championship match. So definitely no shortage of action here, and this one's taking the cake by far. Matt Riddle jumping off the steps with a little bit of a senton. Oh my goodness. I bet they go to commercial break after that one. The action outside of the ring. You can just see a commercial break coming from a mile away. And I want to know, because I got my TV muted, so I can't hear the hint that Michael Cole and company, oh, there we go, commercial break. See, I like to sometimes be in sync with what's going to happen on the show, despite the TV being muted. You could always tell. You could just sense that commercial break coming. But since they took a break, I guess I'm going to go ahead and take a break, give you guys a break from hearing me break down this match like Michael Cole. Unintentional, by the way. I'm just watching it, kind of thinking out loud, so that is on me. But nonetheless, when we get back, we'll recap the rest of this bad boy and close out the show. Well, the match does not slow down in terms of physicality, weapons being used, and it's not slowing down right now as we speak. Just, I'm currently watching the aftermath of the match. The Usos, who got involved during the match and kind of sort of shifted things a little bit, but didn't cost Matt Riddle because he did have an opportunity to win. He did get some offense in after that, but nonetheless falls victim to a vicious spike, which is almost like a clothesline. That's what Michael Cole thought it was at first. Now we get a 1D through the table to Matt Riddle, and this is likely how the show is going off the air right here. That table split right down the middle. Matt Riddle goes right through it. Solo Sikoa picks up the win here. A dominant performance by the Samoan Savage. And we get the ones to the sky. Solo Sikoa doing his typical screaming after a match, and just the sheer brutality from this guy. He is definitely one of a kind. He is solo, in terms of the category that he's in right now in WWE. But that is how SmackDown ended. Solo Sikoa gets the win. We talked about the 3 tag team matches, and obviously Gunther retaining his Intercontinental Championship. This was very wrestling heavy, so a wrestling heavy show. Always good thing for me. Does make it hard to break down by yourself. I will say it would have been easier if I had John here to kind of go over the action with me. But nonetheless, we were able to get through this bad boy and hit that 30-minute mark, which is really all that matters here. So I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me and watching SmackDown with me. Big things coming next week, as you guys already know. The draft, that's going to be a very massive night. So you're definitely going to want to tune in. Me and John are going to be breaking that down live. So some great things to come here on the WWE podcast. Always got some good stuff to look forward to. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you all have a phenomenal weekend. Enjoy whatever activities you're going to do. It's April, end of April, so weather's starting to get really nice. We're starting to get into the summer, and we're a little late into the spring. We're getting close to summer, I should say. But if you walk outside, you can sometimes smell just that summer air, or at least that's kind of what I tie it to. But nonetheless, have a damn good weekend, guys. Walk passionately in the direction of your dreams, and I will talk to you soon.
So if you're looking for a really cool gift for maybe that outdoor enthusiast in your life, then check out Cool Toys US. They're an Etsy store that makes high-quality Viking and bushcraft axes. They have over 2,000 sales. Their average review is 4.8 out of 5. Doesn't get much better than that. And most importantly, they make high-quality axes. I'm telling you, you've never seen axes like this in your life. They have a store-wide 30% off sale going on right now. Again, you can find them at Cool Toys US over on Etsy, and the link to their shop is right in the description notes of this show, so you don't have to worry about typing it in. It's right there. So go get that really awesome axe for a friend, a birthday, whatever it may be, or just yourself. If you are an outdoor enthusiast, you enjoy hiking, this may be the gift for you. Check out Cool Toys US on Etsy.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.